You came along and my heart went cold. You took a little streetcar to my heart, and an apple of love fell from our heart. You looked at me, my heart began to pound. You weren't the sort of guy I thought would stay around. Hey, but it don't have to be eternally. My bad, bad angel put the devil in me.
To be perfectly honest, I've gone around for the last month or so saying tonight is going to be either the most amazing night ever or the biggest cat fight ever.
So folks, as you know, tonight we will have a few different groups represented. The 5 major groups of the Ottawa burlesque scene. An unprecedented event.
This city gets a tough rap for being too boring, too prudish. But more and more Ottawans are starting to let their hair and their stockings down. In January, Michelle Scratch organized the first ever Ottawa Burlesque Collective. The show was a burlesque bonanza. Never before had all 5 of the city's troupes performed together. But Michelle says a bigger burlesque scene is something the capital city needs.
Ottawa is such a corporate city, you know, a government city, corporate city. People say it's the city that fun forgot. Because it's so corporate, we need to have outlets for our creativity. And burlesque is one of those outlets for people to go and see a show or for people to perform in. And I think that's why it's exploding for both performance as well as for audience. Because there's a need for it. There's a need for sex and laughter and tease and whatnot, because our day-to-day lives are pretty boring. I'm a fraud controller. I work for a credit card bank. It's pretty mundane when you think about what I do for a living, because I sit and stare at a computer screen and process adjustments all day.
And a lot of the people on stage tonight were, wear suits and ties to work.
In the beginning, it was Rock Lily and the Sin Sisters, and we had our 2 niches, but now we've got Brown Coats who do nerdlesque, it's like comic book and anime inspired burlesque, and then Capital Tease, who used to be Rock Lily. We split off, and Rock Lily has maintained more edgier rock and roll, and Capital Tease is very classic and pin-up style. And there's all the other burlesque troupes, we're just doing very different things. I feel like there's more competition, but at the same time, I really enjoy the competition because it pushes us all to work harder and to push our boundaries and to put on a better show.
Ottawa's founding troupe started in 2007, but in the last 2 years alone, 3 more troupes have twirled and teased their way on stage. Bourbon and Spice, Brown Coats Burlesque, and Capital Tease have all joined the fray. In a city the size of Ottawa, that means a vibrant but competitive community. The collective was a way to get the troupes working together to try and catch up to bigger cities like Toronto. The hope is, in that coming together, they'll help satisfy Ottawa's growing appetite for excitement.
I think Ottawa's a pretty sexy city. I think they just hide behind government jobs and boring stuff. I don't know. People need to get out of their shells once in a while. Ottawa's got a lot of people who are getting interested in it, like, by the day. We're constantly, I think all of us constantly have people ask how we got into it and how they can get into it, and everyone's always asking when the next show is and telling us that they're going to bring somebody else out who's never been to a show, so it's been expanding constantly.
Dance with Atlanta Studios has been offering burlesque classes since 2009. She says they keep growing in popularity. Beginner classes are sold out.
Side and grind to the back, other way.
Ottawa is, a conservative city, as a lot of people might say,
but I think that a lot of us have like a little rascal, a little bit of a devil inside of us.
And it's about the subtleties, right? So all these bureaucrats who maybe spend all their day behind a desk, it's a release for them because it's getting in touch, reminding themselves about, like, reminding them about their personality, who they are, without going out and doing something that's going to get them, plastered all over Facebook in an obscene sort of way.
Ottawa has the potential in so many ways. Like, I think for various dance styles, there's all these like little pockets in Ottawa. It's really nice. So no, we're not as big as a place like Toronto or maybe Vancouver, but we have all these nice little groups.
It'd be nice to start catching up with some of the other big cities. I think we've got enough talent here and really great talent here to start having festivals.
With more than half a dozen shows since mid-January, performers say they hope to start having official burlesque festivals, like the ones in Toronto or New York, by this time next year. For the 25th hour, this is Polly Legier.